planning for what you want to actually do with the program, I think it's important to figure out what your goals are primarily. And rather than think prize first, I'd like to tell people to think goal first, to figure out what you're actually trying to accomplish with a program, because that defines a lot of how the program is going to look and how it's going to work. If your number one goal is visit frequency and order size, that's going to be a different program than one that's primarily about growing your audience or making sure that people download your app or trial of a new product or menu item. And there's so many tactics that go into it that are based on that versus what the prize is. So that's usually how I like to get people thinking about programs at first, is what are those numbers that in 8 weeks when this launches, you're going to want to look to see if this program was a success or not, because those are going to guide the strategy for the entire program. So I'm going to throw it to Kelly to talk about what Salsarita's goals were at the beginning of last year, how they shifted to where we were when we started the sweepstakes.
Of course. So as I mentioned, we had a big plans for catering in 2020 early on, and that completely shifted. One of our main goals for 2020 was to continue and to get more into our app use. We launched an app in early 2019, and we're just kind of getting our feet wet with how it worked, kind of the data available to us. So 2020, we were really excited for, and a lot of those plans that we had in early Q1 for the rest of the year completely shifted. So we were really just kind of pivoting as we needed to throughout that. But by the time we did the program with Launchfire, that was September, so we were 6 months into the pandemic. By then, our guests in our restaurants were really ready for just something, not an added regulation or restriction and rules, something fun. So I really think that led to why our program with them did so well. Our guests were really excited about it. It gave us a chance to remind people that Salsarita is a fun brand, we're a fresh brand, and we are also a safe brand, for during that time. And then our app tie-ins that we got to get in there, as you can see in the slide, people could earn spins by doing different actions, from giving us an email, trivia questions, and then downloading our app. So it all went towards our marketing goals, which was awesome and checked off all the boxes that we needed to. Awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny, the trivia challenge piece is something that I often talk about, and I particularly talked about a lot last year because, never before has so much information needed to come out of restaurants and how things work, how you pick up, how you can eat, what the health and safety guidelines we follow are. And so it was important to kind of educate customers on all these items, because that influences and was a big influencing factor for where people ate last year. And if you're a education brand, which to some degree Salsarita's is, the freshness of the ingredients, how frequently they make their salsa, all that fun stuff, those are pieces of information that influence, how often people eat there. So that's often kind of a sub goal that we tie into programs.